My name is Rafael, you're watching Rock Our Garage, and finally some great news in 2025. Black Sabbath is back for a final show. That's right, the band just announced that Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, Ozzy Osbourne, and Tony Iommi, the original lineup, the creators of heavy metal music, are back together for a final show. And man, you won't believe this lineup. Take a look at it. The show's gonna happen next July 5 at the Villa Park, the stadium of the football team Aston Villa, which is located in Birmingham, the place where the band was formed, the city where Black Sabbath was born. And look at this incredible lineup. I mean, Ozzy's gonna play before Black Sabbath and then gonna join Black Sabbath on stage for their final concert with the original lineup. I mean, it's been 20 years since the band played with the drummer Bill Ward for the last time live because he wasn't part of their final reunion. He decided to leave the reunion and he wasn't part of. Brad Wilk played on their final album 13, and it was Tommy Clufitos, Ozzy's drummer, who played during their extensive farewell tour. And look at this incredible lineup. Besides Black Sabbath headlining and Ozzy playing before them, we're gonna have Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, Gojira, Halestorm, Alice in Chains, Lamb of God, Anthrax, and Mastodon. Most of these bands extremely influenced by Black Sabbath. I mean, Metallica, James Hetfield, and Lars Ulrich were the ones who inducted Ozzy into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And besides them, look at these additional performers, and many of them quite connected with Ozzy's solo career. You know, you're gonna have Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, a huge Black Sabbath fan. David Draiman from Disturbed. Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, the bassist of Guns N' Roses, who was part of these more recent Ozzy solo albums. Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. Lizzie Hale from Halestorm. Jake E. Lee, that's right, the incredible Ozzy solo career guitarist in the 80s. He played in Bark at the Moon and Ultimate Sin. I mean, what an incredible guitarist who sadly was shot in Las Vegas a few months ago during a discussion in the streets, and thank God he recovered well and he's gonna be there. I mean, that's amazing. They haven't been together for decades. And besides him, Jonathan Davis from Korn, K.K. Downing, the classic Judas Priest guitarist K.K. Downing is gonna be there. Mike Bordin, the drummer for Faith No More, who was also for a few years Ozzy's solo drummer. Papa V Perpetua, now we got a new name because of Papa Emeritus, who is the vocalist of Ghost, a band obviously heavily influenced by Black Sabbath, the band led by Tobias Forge. So now we know the next name of Papa Emeritus, because every album it passes, he kills the Pope and brings a new one with new clothes and etc. So he's gonna be there as well. Rudy Sarzo, a legendary bassist who played with Ozzy, played with Dio, played with Quiet Riot, with Whitesnake, with Guess Who, with Blue Oyster Cult, you name it. Sammy Hagar is gonna be there, man. Now it's insane the amount of amazing people who's gonna be there. Sammy Hagar, the Montrose and the Van Halen vocalist. Slash, the Guns N' Roses guitarist. Sleep Token 2 from Sleep Token. Tom Morello, and Wolfgang Van Halen. And this is what the statement said. The original Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward will play for the first time in 20 years. The band will take the stage to headline Back to the Beginning, the name of the festival, on July 5th at Villa Park. The all-star event will celebrate the true creators of heavy metal and will see Ozzy Osbourne play his own short set before joining Black Sabbath for his final ball. It's time to go back to the beginning, for me to give back to the place where I was born, Ozzy Osbourne said. How blessed I am to do it with the help of people who I love. Birmingham is the true home of metal. Birmingham forever. Formed in Birmingham in 1968 and going on to become one of the most successful metal bands of all time, Black Sabbath have sold over 75 million albums worldwide across their legendary career, setting the blueprint for many routes heavy metal took. Black Sabbath's influence and importance is as vital today as it was in the early 70s. Music director Tom Morello said, "This will be the greatest heavy metal show ever." Back to the Beginning will feature sets from Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, Gojira, Halestorm, Alice in Chains, Lamb of God, Anthrax, and Mastodon rocks. The all-day event will also feature a super group of musicians. Artists announced so far, look at that, more to come. Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, David Draymond from Disturbed, Duff McKagan and Slash from Guns N' Roses, Frank Bello from Anthrax, Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, Jakey Lee, Jonathan Davis from Korn, KK Downing, Lizzie Hale, Halestorm, Mike Bordin from Faith No More, Rudy Sarzo, Sammy Hagar, Scott Ian from Anthrax, Sleep Token 2 from Sleep Token, Papa V Perpetua from Ghost, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, Wolfgang Van Halen, and Zakk Wylde. More names will be announced shortly. Tickets to go on sale at 10 a.m. GMT on Friday, February 14 at livenation.co.uk. All profits go to the following charities: Cure Parkinson's, Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Akron Children's Hospice, a children's hospice supported by Aston Villa. Man, I totally agree with the press release. This is gonna be the greatest heavy metal show, heavy metal celebration, heavy metal festival of all time. I mean, Black Sabbath is my favorite band. I'm quite excited. I'm not gonna be able to go because I don't live there, and it would be extremely expensive to go. But dude, this is the greatest heavy metal celebration of all time. I mean, it's a celebration of the band that created heavy metal music. And look at this incredible lineup, and more names will be announced. I mean, this is just insane. And obviously, many fans might say, oh, it's only the original Black Sabbath and etc. I mean, it's hard that they're gonna bring other people from other Black Sabbath eras because the band excludes nowadays the other eras of the band. You can go to blacksabbath.com and you're only gonna find stuff about the original lineup. Like if the other eras of the band didn't exist, you're only gonna find information about the other eras on Tony Iommi's site. So I find quite hard that they're gonna invite people like Vinny Appice or Tony Martin or Glenn Hughes or Ian Gillan and many other people from the other eras of the group. But I mean, this is the biggest celebration ever. And obviously, you're gonna have 3/4 of the big four of thrash metal. Of course, Megadeth should be there as well, but more names to come. I mean, this is the greatest news of 2025 for rock and roll and heavy metal music so far. So I'm quite excited to see this. I hope they can broadcast this to the whole world. I really hope so, because it would be amazing to watch all of this. And the greatest thing is going to be a charity festival. They're going to donate the money to all these institutions. I mean, it's just the perfect way to finish this, the chapter of this incredible band. I mean, they are in their 70s. Ozzy faced a lot of health issues during the past years, and they're all alive. I mean, how many bands you can't do that? Because, you know, Led Zeppelin, John Bonham sadly had passed away, and many other legendary bands, they can't do that. But all the original Black Sabbath members are alive. And I'm really happy to see that, as they're being my favorite band. This is a just wonderful thing. Thank God they're finally gonna go out, you know, with a high note, with bringing the war together again, bringing him again to the fold and making one last show with Bill. This is insane. This is great news. So I wanted to share this with you today. Thank you for watching, and I see you later.